On Facebook and follow us on Twitter at 1450 WCTC. Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
Think we could listen to the radio or something?
On the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
7:08, it's hour number 2 of Jersey Central on a Thursday morning on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. It is Bert. Good morning to you. Thanks for starting your day out with us, of course. We got a couple contests coming up in this hour. We're going to give away a Universal movie pack with 2 fantastic films, Sing and The Secret Life of Pets. We'll also have a separate contest a little bit later on in the hour for a family 4-pack of vouchers for Sesame Street Live, which is returning to State Theater, New Jersey, in mid-April. All right, so we'll do a couple of different contests, 2 contests coming up a little bit later on this hour. Something was brought to my attention that is happening at a pretty alarming rate across our state, and that is a rash of lawsuits where municipalities are being sued by various religious institutions. Did you know this was going on across our state? I didn't either. Joining me now on the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline to talk about this, let's welcome in attorney Michael Faul, who represents the municipalities in these sorts of things, just to kind of find out exactly what is going on here. Michael, good morning. It's Bert Barron. How are you?
Good morning, Bert. Thank you for inviting me to speak with you and your audience this morning on an important topic to the citizens of the state of New Jersey.
Is this prevalent, Michael? I got to say, this is the first I'm even hearing that this happens in our state.
It's very, very prevalent. Bert, I've had the privilege of serving as special insurance counsel for various municipalities in New Jersey. And in that capacity, I have counseled my municipal clients on a host of risk management issues arising from claims that impact their policies of insurance. Bert, public officials, administrators, and members of the public that volunteer their time on township committees, planning boards, and other committees are increasingly the subject of lawsuits seeking monetary damages. Officials of these communities need to be defended, and that is where insurance comes into play. My clients call on me to vigorously pursue the maximum available insurance coverage. Insurance is a valuable asset obtained at great cost by the taxpayers of the municipalities, townships, and cities. And there was an old saying that I had heard, yes, municipalities are insured as well, just like all of us.
What are the grounds, a lot of times, that you see, Michael? On what grounds are these lawsuits coming about? Is it discrimination? Are they coming from churches and synagogues and a variety of institutions?
Absolutely. Mosques, synagogues, and other religious institutions. The land use provisions of what we commonly refer to as RLUPA, which is the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act of 2000. It's a federal statute. Protects individuals, houses of worship, and other religious institutions from discrimination in zoning and land marking laws. Cities, municipalities, and towns in New Jersey and elsewhere throughout the country facing these RLUPA civil suits from religious institutions denied zoning permits must face the reality, Bert, that insurers are increasingly seeking to limit their exposure and forcing these governmental insureds and the taxpayers of their communities to pay for these very expensive lawsuits on their own dime.
Do we see more of these in the cities in Jersey, Michael, or is it more a rural or a suburban thing, or is it kind of anywhere?
It's everywhere. These lawsuits have been filed against municipalities, townships, and cities throughout New Jersey. And I wanted to emphasize that these suits against these governmental entities are being prosecuted by the largest law firms in New York, Washington, and even in certain instances abroad. These suits are financed and backed by well-heeled civil rights and private foundations with millions of dollars in their war chest to effectuate what they consider to be justice. Insurance to defend these lawsuits, Bert, and is available to potentially pay millions of dollars in damage awards is often available, but only if maximum coverage is pursued by experienced insurance counsel.
This seems like a difficult thing, just guessing. Michael Faul is our guest, by the way. We're talking about some lawsuits filed by religious institutions against municipalities, which has become a big deal here in our state. It seems like a difficult thing to argue because, if you try to protect, defend a municipality against a church, a synagogue, some sort of house of worship, it's almost like the approach is, well, don't you care about faith? What kind of heathen are you? Don't you have believe in higher powers and whatnot? And it's very easy in the court of public opinion for these municipalities and these planning boards and these freeholders to be, painted or portrayed as being just bad people, even though they haven't done anything wrong.
That's exactly my thought process. every municipality, every public official needs to be defended. That's why there's insurance placed for that, in place for that. So that's where we stand with these lawsuits.
It's a slippery slope, Michael. I can see how. That would be like me going to before the planning board in New Brunswick and saying, well, I would like 100 acres given to me so I can build a playground, right? They would tell me I'm crazy, but then I would say, don't you care about our children? How dare you be so heartless? And when that approach is taken, nobody wins.
Exactly. But the real important thing is that municipalities are entitled to a defense.
Yeah. Are most of these settled out of court, Michael, or do they actually get to the point where we get in front of a judge and a verdict and a ruling is made?
Most of these cases, I will tell you, they take their course as any litigation, but they do typically tend to settle prior to trial.
Gotcha. Okay. Maybe someone who is listening in a municipality somewhere in New Jersey is hearing you right now, Michael, and maybe they're facing something